Tim Poole here, editor of Gambling Insider. I'm at Sigma with Arcangelo of Habanero. Welcome viewers to the GI Huddle. Arcangelo, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's our pleasure. We're going to talk about all things Habanero, your role, markets, regulation, online casino, that kind of thing. To start off with, can you tell us about your journey with Habanero from the beginning up until now?
It has been an interesting journey. It has been, and it is, my first experience with a supplier. I've been in the industry for 20 years, but I never worked on this side of the industry. So I have a pretty strong and long operator background. And at some point I bumped into Habanero games. That's about 7 years ago. I was really impressed with what I saw. I started working in my capacity as product manager at Victor. I started working with this supplier, with these games, and I was blown away for all the right reasons. So when the opportunity came and Habanero were ambitious enough to start pushing Europe, then I believed I was the right person for the job, and here we are. It has been really interesting these 5 years. We decided to start targeting Italy, which is my home country, by the way. I was born in Italy, so I am Italian, and Italy, of course, is the second biggest market that we have in Europe at the moment when it comes to online casinos, and that's where we made our name. And then from there, everything followed. So at the moment, we are live in over 23 regulated markets. We've got 2 licenses, and these past 5 years have been an absolute buzz. Yeah, it's been incredible to spearhead. And also being able to represent this fantastic company around Europe and beyond.
I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit based on that last answer. You said a big operator background and you moved to the supplier side. How would you describe the difference between working on that operator side of the industry and then the supply side?
From my perspective, there's not much difference. So effectively, when I joined Habanero, I thought I could deliver the goods because I had been on the other side. I knew how it worked. I knew how it works more like. I had been a buyer, so to speak, right? I mean, I've been in a situation where I know how it works within organizations of different sizes, because obviously Victor wasn't my first operator experience. I've been in other companies before. So from my perspective, at the end of the day, what we're all trying to do is we're trying to build partnership and deliver the best possible solution to the end users, as we call them, to the very players, the customers, the very focus of what we do, both as operators and suppliers. We're on the same boat, and what we're trying to do, we're trying to deliver the best possible quality to our customers, to our mutual and common customers. So for me, there's not much difference, to be honest. I haven't really seen much difference. And of course, when you work as an operator, you're preoccupied with lots of other peripherals and lots of other key elements that you might not necessarily care about too much when you work for a supplier. As a supplier, you might care about acquisition, but not in the same capacity as you do when you're working for an operator. Of course, as an operator, you have a vantage point where you can look at a lot of products and you can understand demographics in a certain way, things that you cannot do when you work for a supplier, because you would never know who's playing your games. I mean, you see numbers, you don't really know who these people are, like their sex, where they come from, their age, So you can effectively analyze a little bit less, but at the same time you do have a different way of analyzing, and you have a different vantage point because you do see a lot of operators, which is something that you don't do when you're an operator. You only see your suppliers. So it's a totally different vantage point, but that gives me the opportunity to have a bit of a wider understanding of where the industry has been going over the past few years. So yeah, at the end of the day, there's not much difference. We work for the same target, the same reason, the same results, and the same achievements. We strive to deliver the best possible solution to our customers and entertain them in the best possible way.
Focusing on Habanero as a company, we're sitting here at Sigma in November. 2022 is coming to a close. As we approach 2023, how would you describe Habanero's place within the market at the moment?
We are a very dynamic company. For us, being agile, it's an interesting one actually, because we're extremely agile. So we really pride ourselves with the fact that we're extremely agile, we're extremely scalable, modular. So the very core of what we do is to try and deliver the best possible product in the best possible way. And that means doing it from a technical perspective in the best possible way, meaning to be at the very forefront of the technological evolution, and at the same time being able to deliver the best possible product and being able to maintain relations and understand customer needs better than anybody else. So we love to be agile. We love to be small when it comes to the way we operate, the way we understand operations and the way we run operations. Being small, and please do read, within what I'm trying to say, means being able to make decisions much faster than others. And in this ever-changing environment, impossibly dynamic environment, that is an absolute must. So this is how we see ourselves. Purveyors of fantastic content, fantastic solutions, delivered in the best possible way. And also in the middle, we walk the fine line between innovation and tradition, right? I mean, this is something that particularly concerns me as a professional in iGaming. This is not an environment that you can innovate wildly with. You can innovate, but you also need to be very careful and respectful of psychology. And psychology hasn't necessarily changed radically from what it used to be. We live in a completely different environment when it comes to regulated environment and preoccupations of all stakeholders, ourselves and our customers, in order to be able to deliver the best, the safest and the fairest solutions within a safe environment for everybody. But at the same time, we need to make sure that we also deliver something extremely exciting and thrilling to an audience that wants to be thrilled, effectively. So
I infer what you say about being, as you say, small, maybe more bespoke, that kind of thing. So not small and certainly not in a negative way, but maybe not like a legacy supplier. No one in particular, but maybe too big and not agile enough. That's kind of what I gain from what you're saying in terms of being small and more.
We are small. We have a very, very small headcount. We very much interconnected. We are big as in we have different offices around the world. We do business everywhere, but at the same time we are a small company, and we have an ethos within the company where we're able to be horizontal in our decision-making process. We're very careful with our recruitment processes, so that when we get the right people, which is 99.9% of the time, the right people stay, they contribute to the company, they grow within the company, and they make the company grow. Now, by doing this, what do? We try and maximize the possibility to being effective in our mission to support customers and deliver solutions. I'll give you a basic example because it sounds like a corporate, talk, but we live in an environment where margins have effectively been decreasing because of a series of developments that we've seen. So we live in in a world that keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller because of communication and because of possibilities, technological possibilities. But at the same time, we live in a world where people are looking farther afield than what they used to be doing in the past. This applies to companies that try to make their business model, keep their business models more and more and more sustainable. And we try to be there to be able to deliver solutions. the only way we can deliver solutions in this ever-changing, super dynamic environment is to be able to adapt and possibly predict, which means being able to support our customers or our prospects into what they want to do, or what they need to do. Expansion, adaptation, resilience, we have it all, and it's at the very core of what we do. So quality is just the very exceptional quality. It's just the beginning of what we do. Then we make sure that we deliver that exceptional quality in the best possible way, with the customer at the very center of whatever we do. Being small in terms of size, company size, makes a massive difference, but only because those few people that are part of this company, that make this company, are the right people, and they got strong ideas and practices.
If we were to look at geographies, different geographies, you mentioned Italy earlier, you mentioned kind of the size of the market. If you were to reflect on your European markets over the past 12 months or so, what would you say? What would you point out as trends, performance, that kind of thing?
Well, consolidation is a big trend, right? I mean, we're seeing things where markets are being effectively reshaped by this. Regulation, of course, has also made a big difference to some bona fide markets that we've become accustomed to over the years. It's exciting times, challenges all over the place. I still have the impression that there's a lot to do in order to being able to work with regulators to a point where we can play into each other's hands so that we can deliver the best possible products and the best possible experience to our common concern, which is the player. The player is at the center of our concerns. The regulators' concerns, the suppliers' concerns, the operators' concerns. I think we need to keep working towards making this industry more and more mature, so that regulators and stakeholders can work together towards keeping the industry sustainable, and at the same time making it the safest possible for the player, while delivering a product and a solution and solutions that the player is actually interested in. So, what have I seen? Trends. Consolidation, market reshaping, restrictions, very interesting taxation models.
Interesting is a good word to say for the different, yeah.
That way. And scaremongering, when it comes to being able to allow the stakeholders to even exist within a market. It's an ongoing process that we see where I think we're all going to come out better out of this. But it's absolutely essential that the relations between the stakeholders and regulators become a little bit more mature, so that we can all really contribute towards making the industry a healthy, sustainable, and growing environment for the benefits of all. We as a company, we've entered a few markets in the past 12 months, or maybe 24 months. Two of the most exciting developments for us have been the Netherlands and Germany. Again, challenging markets, very challenging markets for different reasons.
Making a lot of headlines recently.
Indeed, but as an Italian, I've seen it all. Obviously, as someone who entered the Italian regulator, I would say the template for all regulations and developments and further developments. Being lucky enough to be there on day one, when I worked for an operator in Italy. This is food for thought and exciting challenges that we keep riding to try and better the environment. Another interesting thing that we've seen in the past 12 months, of course, I don't know if we can discuss something farther afield from Europe, but obviously the US present incredible opportunities, and realistically, when we look at what's happening in the regulated markets, the online casino regulated markets in the US, we really do have the feeling that what we're seeing there is something that it's extremely exciting, because these are new markets, incredibly powerful markets that are born mature, but at the same time have got a long way to go, so that they keep maturing on the online element. So it's been interesting. We've seen recovery from a very, I would say, unpalatable and unseen environment, which was obviously 2020 and 2021, where we've seen dramatic genetic modifications to the environment. But I think we're slowly going back towards normality and towards a more sustainable environment, effectively.
Well, plenty of food for thought there. Thanks very much for your time, Arcangelo. Enjoyed speaking with you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure, Tim. All the best. Bye-bye.